I've went off a few times in the last few weeks on guys in the self-development space on YouTube for suggesting that self-improvement has fallen off and that it's no longer necessary. You know, everything's been said already, which really annoys me. However, I realize that we are in a vacuum here on YouTube. I've just moved into this new beautiful villa overlooking this beautiful tropical island in Thailand. And with that, I've actually found it harder to connect with my audience. The guys I'm trying to help with my message. Younger Sam with all of his issues and his problems. To me, life is great. The people I surround myself with are all doing bits in their own right, making their money, well and truly on their pathway to self-development, living an awesome life, surrounded by awesome people, getting girls. They're all happy. But I realize that this is a vacuum. So I take back how hard I went on the self-improvement YouTubers for thinking that self-improvement is sort of, done with, finished. Because I had assumed that they were saying that because they were acting in bad faith and they were just doing the self-improvement thing as a trend to try and farm some cash or whatever. Some low vibrational shit like that. I don't think that is the case. Hopefully, likely, mostly. I think it's probably more likely that they haven't revisited the trenches for quite some time. They're living their awesome lives, they're surrounded by their awesome people, so they don't necessarily pay attention to what's going on beneath them. Well, I do. You watching this video right now, you might not even realize yourself just how down bad men are, generally speaking, outside of our self-improvement, self-development bubble that we've made here on YouTube. Before I was 22 years old, I didn't even know what the idea of self-development was, and that's because I had been sold the blueprint to success for women, which is to preserve what you have, and what you have is innately valuable. That doesn't work for men. And I was sold that blueprint because I was raised by women in a very feminized culture, and masculinity was psyoped out of the general populace. So I just thought at 22 years old, I'm just gonna do me and just chill. Eventually, I will become happy. And that wasn't the case. Ever. When I discovered the idea of self-development, it was like a massive bombshell dropped upon me where I realized, holy fuck, I have been wasting away so many years waiting to become happy, when the reality was, as a man, you have to build it. You have to take it. And then we run into the next blueprint. So now I'm 22 and I know about self-development. Whoa, holy fuck. Now it's to apply it. I have to apply self-development. I have to let go of all of my desires and my cheap pleasures. And I have to just be completely and utterly miserable with zero until I'm able to build something, anything, which makes me happy, which is a massive barrier to overcome, which most don't even overcome. They might know about self-development, but they're not willing to sacrifice to that extent. So that's two camps. A lot of people don't even know self-development exists, and then a lot of people know it exists, but it's way too fucking hard. I would say 90% of men fall into one of those two categories. How crazy is that? When I sat down this morning and I sat at my PC and thought, my life is pretty fucking amazing right now. I wonder what it's like for others. And then I open YouTube on an incognito tab and I see still the same bullshit content is still wildly popular on YouTube. Overwatch 2 gameplay, Counter-Strike funny moments. All of these videos pulling in between 2 to 10 million views. And that's when I realized, oh yeah, on the grand scale of things, I don't think much has really changed at all since I was 22 years old in terms of the general scale of self-development. Most still don't fucking know it exists. Most are still completely lost in a sauce. And when you revisit the trenches and you view the world with this lens, it's a major shock. And it's a stark reminder that, of course, there's still plenty of work to do here, spreading the message of self-development. And the argument of, oh, well, all the information's out there already is just obnoxiously dumb. Because quite frankly, all of the answers you possibly need are in the Bible. And that is a pretty old book, bro. Yet, there's still been a massive need for personalities and characters to come out with their own anecdotes and their own stories to continue to spread the message. Crazy argument. The good news is, because most men are completely psyoped, the barrier of entry in terms of competition is very low. If you wake up tomorrow and you read 10 pages of a book, you've probably read more pages of a book than 90% of the male population in your hometown. You've siphoned their energy and transmuted it into your own power of knowledge. You might even think, Sam, surely most people are in the gym now. You know, I feel like everyone has been hammering home, get in the gym, you have to be strong, you have to look good, get in the gym. They've been hammering that home for like 5 years. I'm just sick of it now. Surely most people are in the gym. No, they're not. They're not in the fucking gym. Most people are not in the gym. Between their work shifts and their weekend benders where they do copious amounts of cocaine or ketamine because it's cheaper, most men only have the energy for a few Rocket League matches. They do not have the energy to go to the gym. They don't have the energy to look after their bodies. You right now could be listening to me speak, and if you drop down and do 20 push-ups right now, you've probably done more physical activity than, again, most of the men in your hometown. Most guys don't even think this way in the slightest. You might be on your self-improvement journey and be thinking like, fuck, I'm doing a little bit, but I want to do more and more and more. Good. But most guys, they're not even thinking about beginning. They're not thinking about the importance of, oh yeah, I should look after my body because it's a fucking temple, and a strong body means a strong mind. They're not even thinking that. So you could do the absolute bare fucking minimal physical activity, which hopefully you're doing right now if you're a fucking G, and you're feeling that fucking energy flowing through your veins. Of all of the guys in your hometown doing nothing with that energy, you're siphoning all of it for yourself. We don't like to talk about it because it's kind of dark, but I can tell you right now, every successful man you look up to has tapped into this competitive nature that we have as men. And they use it as rocket fuel for their own self-development. They don't shy away from this competitive energy like a fucking coward like most do. No, Sam, we're not competing with each other. We're competing with ourselves. The reason why we do anything, quite frankly, okay, is because we want to be better than the other guy. The reason why things like Rolexes and Lamborghinis are valuable is because not everyone can get one. Likewise, the reason why a six-pack is very valuable is because not everyone can get one. You have to work very hard to get it, and that is why it's valuable. If I snapped my fingers and I just got a six-pack, no one would give a shit. And you get to that stage by outworking everyone else, being competitive and winning. I wouldn't want a Rolex if everyone could get one. This villa that I'm sat in right now is only valuable because it's needlessly big and it overlooks the rest of this island. So whoever stays in it can go out on the balcony and look down upon the lands like some sort of fucking overlord. All of the kings had their castles in the highest and most beautiful places. There's a reason for that. It's because they just want to say, fuck you, I'm better than you. They don't outright say it, but it's a subconscious message. When I look at someone who has a Rolex on, they're probably trying to signal to me, yeah, I'm hot shit. And that's why people are willing to drop thousands upon thousands of dollars on these items. But you're going to tell me that you're oblivious to the competitive nature of men. Yeah, Sam, I don't really buy into that, man. Why? It's a superpower. I'm not saying to let the guy who has a fucking Rolex live rent-free in your head and you're just having sleepless nights thinking about how, damn it, how do I not have a Rolex? But it should piss you off a little bit. Not in a toxic way in the sense of, why does he have a Rolex? I should have a Rolex. That's bullshit. He must be scamming, which is what a lot of men's fucking minds go to for some reason. If someone's rich, then they've done it in some nefarious way. They've dealt drugs or they've scammed or done some crypto pump or dump or whatever. No, it should actually motivate you. It's like, oh, well, cool. He did it. I can do it, right? That's awesome. Likewise with the bigger guys in your gym. Now, of course, you can't really compete with the guys who are cheating, taking fucking trend, but you can look at the more naturally achievable physiques in your gym and you can allow that to motivate you. Wow, that guy has a sick physique. He's been in the gym for several more years than me. That's sick. If I continue to do this every single day, I can probably look something like that. That's awesome. Allow the intelligent guy to motivate you as well, who's got a ton of knowledge on his expertise. Wow, that guy has probably done a lot more time in the trenches than me. He's probably read a few more books, probably sniffed a little bit less glue than me when we were younger. That's cool. I'm gonna go hit the oil rig and read some books now so that perhaps I can try and be knowledgeable in my own realms. That's a winner's mentality. A loser's mentality is one, just opting out and be like, nah, I'm not competing, man. I'm above this shit, I don't compete. Or two, you are competing, but you're weirdly trying to disqualify other people. Oh, he's only rich because he's a scammer. He's only big because he's doing steroids. You're essentially running the race, but at the same time as running the race, you're like reaching into other people's lanes and trying to like trip them over. And in turn, that's actually slowing you down massively, and you end up actually losing the fucking race anyway. The best part about this is the winner's mentality of, oh, that's awesome, I'm going to become better now myself, is the foundations to your eventual success. So if you start to look at things with that mindset, you have now laid the foundations to your future success. Yeah, but Sam, how do I know if I'm gonna win or not? Let me put it this way. Without that winner's mentality, you have precisely a 0% chance of winning. Why? Because you're not even in the same race as the winners. You're in an entirely different race, and that is the race to the bottom. You don't want to be in that race. I hope this was helpful, boys. Video editing completely changed my life, updated my self-esteem, and gave me a lifestyle of financial and location freedom, which I always dreamed of. I teach over 500 of my students how to live a life of total freedom. And as you can see on the screen here, we're getting excellent results inside of my Academy of Excellence. You could be next. Take care, boys.